Hey there, I'm estate planning attorney Paul Rabalais, and in this video I am going to address what you should tell your family about your estate plan. What you tell them or don't tell them could make the difference between an estate settlement that goes smooth and easy versus an estate settlement where World War III breaks out only to have the people who are closest to you never speak to each other again. Okay, so the first decision you must make regarding what to tell your family regarding your estate plan is whether you want to get their input prior to creating your estate plan. Sometimes someone might say, Paul, child A has done really well financially and child B struggles, so I'm thinking I might leave more to child B, but let me talk to child A before we even start anything. Or people say, I'm considering naming my friend as my executor, but I don't know if they would be willing to do it. I better talk to them first. By the way, 99% of the time when you are concerned about whether a close friend or relative would be willing to be named to a position in your estate planning documents, those people respond with, of course, if you need me to fill that position, I'll be happy to do it for you. But I would say that most people create their estate plan without getting input from their family or loved ones, but that is 100% your call whether you include them in discussions prior to creating your estate plan. Now, regarding what you tell your family after you create your estate plan, again, this is your decision. It can go from telling them nothing to telling them a minimal amount of necessary information to spilling the beans about everything you have done, and maybe more importantly, why you have done it. Now, if you're going to tell them the basics, then tell them that you have a plan. I've been involved in estate settlements, for example, where someone died and it was assumed that the deceased died intestate without a will. So the probate gets completed and the estate gets transferred to the heirs that the state say should get it under the intestate rules. And then lo and behold, a will surfaces, and now the probate's a real mess. So if you want to tell them the basics, tell them that you have a plan and tell them where they can locate the important legal documents when you become incapacitated or when you pass away. In addition, you can tell your family and your financial power of attorney agents in particular how you would want your finances and business matters handled if you become incapacitated. You can communicate to your healthcare agents how you would want them to exercise their discretion regarding medical treatment decisions, not so much the life support machine's decision, because that decision is often made in advance by signing a living will, but rather what kinds of medical treatment you would want if you are alive, you have a chance for recovery, but you are unable to make your own treatment decisions. Treatment decisions impacting things like CPR, tube feeding, dialysis, and comfort care. So, what do you tell your family about all those decisions you made about what happens when you pass away? Well, that's your call. Some say, Paul, once we sign everything, I'm going to call a family meeting at my house where I will discuss all of this with my entire family. While others say, Paul, I'm not going to tell them anything. I'll be dead when they need to deal with all of this, so there's no sense in me bringing up a big old discussion now. But if you do have these discussions with family regarding your estate plan, consider not only telling them just the facts, who is the executor or trustee of your trust, how will the estate be divided, but it may be more important that you tell them the why you did what you did. If you tell them the why, it may make it easier for those who might be disappointed because they were not put in charge, or those who are not inheriting something that they wanted or expected. Your communication of the why you did what you did may make it easier for those disappointed people to accept what you've done, and it may prevent animosity moving forward among family members after you pass away. And in particular, consider communicating those things about your estate plan that are unique, or those decisions you make that can prevent a party from arguing after your death. Someone might say, Dad might pass away, and someone says, Dad told me he wanted me to have his car, or whatever they say. Well, if you told someone that, then make sure that's part of your estate plan. Or prevent someone from arguing after you pass away. You know, sometimes we see people say, a child or a daughter might say, I took care of my dad for 5 years, so I deserve more. Well, prevent that child from taking that position after you pass away by having the conversation with the children before you pass away, and maybe say something like, well, child, I'm very grateful that you have taken care of me for the last several years. Nonetheless, I'm leaving my estate to the children equally. So that why you did what you did could be really important. Or don't allow somebody to say after you pass away, Dad meant to change his estate plan, but he never got around to it. So if you meant to do it, go ahead and do it. Or sometimes we hear after someone passes away, particularly in a second wife or second spouse or blended family situation, you might hear a child say, after Dad dies, Dad's new wife influenced him into leaving his new wife, his nice new home. Don't allow a child to make that argument. Sit the children down before you pass away and tell them, outside perhaps of the presence of your new wife, tell them, I'm leaving my house to my new wife, and this is why I'm doing it. I'm leaving the money to you guys, and I'm not influenced by my wife. I'm doing it, and I have the ability and the capacity to do it. It's my home. This is what I'm doing. Kind of like it or not, this is the deal. So that may prevent, after you pass away, a child from asserting some undue influence claim and making everyone's life miserable. So the bottom line is, it's your estate plan, it's your estate, and you get to call all the shots, including what you do or do not communicate to your family. But I would say that generally speaking, the more you clearly communicate the why you did what you did to the people who are affected by those decisions, the less surprise there will be in the future, and likely the less disruption there will be when it comes to settling your estate. Okay, now if you've been involved in some of these things I've been talking about here on this video, make sure you communicate those experiences in the comments below. Of course, I'd love to see a like, subscribe, click the notification bell. That way YouTube will keep notifying you when I make new estate planning educational content. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time.